Developers broke ground today on a $500 million project in Duluth, hoping to create growth and opportunity for the city. The historic project called the Incline Village will be built at the former site of the Duluth Central High School. And one of Duluth's most scenic overlooks will become home to more than 1,300 multifamily market-rate condos and apartments, retail shops, and green space. City and county, state leaders were all in attendance, along with the developers and construction trades. Many echoing the same thing, that this vision of growing Duluth for business development and families would not be possible without the support of all stakeholders involved.
We need to be growing again as a community. By 2030, I want to see Duluth be over 90,000 people. That has not happened since 1980. For over 50 years, we've stayed relatively stagnant in our population. Directly related to that is number two, we need housing.
The first project underway is a condo building with 70 units. The goal is to have it completed by summer of 2026. To support the community even more, at the groundbreaking today, Incline Village developer Lucy Ostreicher presented a check for $5,000 to Chum. ICS Construction also donated 700 pounds of food to Chum. Well, after